Hello, today I will be doing my book talk presentation on the book Stolen by Lucy Christopher. It's a realistic fiction novel, and the setting is present-time Australia. My key characters are Gemma and Ty. Gemma is a young adult who lives in England. Her parents are not always around and are always busy and have time-consuming jobs, and they never have time for her. She is unhappy with her home life. Ty is an adult who kidnaps Gemma from her parents. He has a troubled past and has always looked after Gemma from afar, ever since she was a young girl. All he wants to do is protect Gemma from others, so he steals Gemma. Ty believes that Gemma is different and is not living the life that she deserves to live. The plot. After years of looking after Gemma from afar, Ty finally steals her from the Bangkok airport. Gemma was heading for Vietnam with her parents, but ends up in Australia with Ty. Gemma doesn't understand where she is for quite a while. Ty took her to a remote place in Australia where there are no other inhabitants besides themselves. In the beginning, Gemma fears him, but she learns to know him. She finds out that he has a troubled past and takes pity on him. Gemma also discovers his intentions and reasons for being stolen. Within time, they make a compromise that he would take her back in 4 months. Just long enough for Gemma to learn to appreciate the land and possibly fall in love. The passage that I will be reading explains what it is to be stolen. With an example, instead of her, it's a camel. The next day you were out with the camel, training her, in a pen you must have had made the night before. You'd stuck more fence posts in the ground and wound rope around them, linking this all to the chicken wire fence already around the separates. I came out to watch. You had her head in a halter attached to the rope, and she was following you. She was calmer now, almost resigned. She carried her head lower, and she'd given up on moaning. We were talking to her softly and gently, in words I couldn't hear or understand. She seemed to like it. What do you want to call her? You said when you noticed me. Stolen, I said. It was the first thing I thought of. That's not much of a name. But she is, though, isn't she? Stolen from her herd. I felt bad that I had to help. She'll learn to love us, you said, quietly. Did you feel the same about your cat when you chose him from the animal shelter? That's different. You walked over to where I was standing and pulled on the camel's rope. She lowered her head so that I could pet her. You placed your hand against her stomach, thinking. We should call her Wobbleguts, you said. That's a crap name. It's accurate. It took me forever to clean the side of my car. Your eyes were soft as they stayed on mine for longer than they needed to. You moved to the rope toward my hand. Here. Do you want to go out leading her? I stepped carefully into the pen, taking the rope without needing to touch you. I patted her front shoulder, trying to reassure her. I thought calm words. I tried to let her know I wasn't going to hurt her. She towered over me, all legs and muscle. There was still a faint smell of steak about her, mixed with something else. Something dirt and desert-like. She smelled like sand. Just walk straight, she'll follow. I took a few steps and the camel came with me. She lowered her head and sniffed gently at my shoulder. I could feel her lips, touching the collar of my t-shirt, her warm breath on the back of my neck. Her feet were clomping heavily next to mine. You are a lovely girl, I whispered to her. The bottom of her jaw worked around in a circle, chewing on something. I was surprised at her gentleness, her willingness to give in. It didn't seem like she was wild only the day before. I recommend this book to people who like a novel that will make you think. It's not what you believe to be. I was a little iffy about it, but at the end, it is a really good book. You can get this book at Half Price Books or Barnes & Noble, and this concludes my book talk presentation.